Hello guys, today is Thursday. Now we are going to start the Tempest. Last time we did up to here. Now we are going to start from line number 37. Say here date 13/8/2020, class 12, the Tempest, Act 5, Scene 1, page number 106 and line number 36. Line number 37. Okay, now see here. Page number 106. Here see, Ariel was told that go and bring them here. So he is supposed to go to Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Gonzalo and bring them before his cell, before him. Cell means cave. Now Ariel that time said, I shall fetch them, sir. He told, Ariel tells Prospero, I will go and fetch them here. I will go and bring them before you. Now Prospero says here, you elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves. He tells, you can say fairies. Okay, you fairies, you are dwelling, living on, you can say on the hills. Brooks, you are living in the, you can say, rivers. The standing lakes, you are living in a stagnant water, in stationary water, you are living. Stationary water or stagnant water, you are living there. And you that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing, and you spirits, can say on the, you can say upon seashore. So you that on the sands, can say at the seashore, when tide comes and goes back, that is called ebb, 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 it goes back. So, and you that on the sands with printless foot, once tide comes, you can say to the shore and it goes back, then the footprint, you can say, is washed, it is just erased. Do chase the ebbing Neptune, to chase. So, you can say here, the water flows, you can say, back to the ocean. So, you can say it is chased back. And the place, the seashore, is of course without any footprint of, you can say here, footprint of fairies. So do chase the ebbing Neptune, god of the sea. So he is now just addressing the spirits, calling the spirits, and do fly them when he comes back. So when the tide, you can say, comes, you can say, to the seashore, and then you can say it just rushes out of the, you can say, that place, rushes out from there, and then it comes, the tide comes, you can say, to the shore, and it goes back once again, and no footprint, no mark, you can say, of footprint is left over there. Now see what you can say here. Prospero says, you demi puppets that by moonshine do the green shower ringlets make. You demi puppets, tiny creatures, diminutive, you can say, creatures. So you diminutive creatures who make small rings, ringlets, small rings, which are a brighter green hue means color. So you can say you make, you can say, rings of course grass, and those grass, you can say, are of bright color, or you can say green color. Okay, then the grass which the sheep avoid eating, then those grass or that grass, okay, which are not eaten by, that are avoided by the sheep because of its bitter taste. So because of its bitter taste. So he is just addressing the fairies. Okay, you live, you can say, on the hill, in the river, in the stagnant water, in the, you can say, stationary water, and you come from there. Okay, and you fairies, you are, you can say, you tiny fairies, you make, you can say, ringlets, you can say, leisurely in free time. Okay, by moonshine, to the green shower ringlets make. So in the moon, you can say, in the moonlight, you make ringlets. You make rings of grass, whereof the ewe not bites, and that grass is not eaten by sheep because of, you can say, its bitter taste. And you whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms, and you fairies having, you can say, a pastime. In your pastime, you of course what you do, you make, you can say, mushroom in the midnight. That rejoice to hear the problem, that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew. Okay, and that of course you can say they rejoice, they enjoy the solemn sounds of the ringing of the curfew bell. These fairies, they enjoy, you can say, making of course mushrooms in the midnight, and they also enjoy the solemn sounds of the ringing of the bell. Alright, now say here, by whose aid, weak masters though you be. By whose aid? By whose aid? It was, you can say, with the help of that. Okay, it was because of help of, you can say here, that. I have worked wonder. So with the help of fairies, I have done, you can say here, wonderful, you can say, things, wonderful, you can say, work, and so on. Even though you can say your supernatural powers, you can say, were not that potent. Your supernatural powers, you can say, were not, you can say, that powerful, yet I have made use of this, you can say, you fairies, to get my work done, to do, you can say, here, wonderful work. Alright, now say here, I have redeemed the moon tides. I have redeemed the noontide sun. I have redeemed the noontide sun. So with the help of, you can say, fairies, with the help of you fairies, I have made the, you can say, sunlight dim in noontime. Call for the mutinous, you can say, winds, and with your help, though you can say you are not, you can say, quite potent, your supernatural power is not, you can say, that powerful, I have of course made use of, you can say here, I have made use of you and your power. Call forth the mutinous, you can say, winds, and with your help, I have caused, you can say here, rebellious and uncontrolled, you can say, winds to blow and create great disturbance. So with your help, I have created this powerful storm, and you can say here, entire atmosphere was, you can say, disturbed. So with your help, I have created this tempest, this storm. Alright, now see, and betwixt the green sea and the azure vault set roaring war. See here, and betwixt the green sea, between the ocean, green sea, ocean, and the azure vault, and you can see the blue sky, between the ocean and the sky, set roaring war, and I have created lightning, thunder, and so on. Storm, lightning, thunder, I have created with the help of fairies, with the help of you fairies. Now say here, to the trade rattling thunder have I given fire. Now say here, to the trade rattling thunder. So with your help, you can say, fairies, I have imparted the, you can say here, dreadful, you can say here, roaring thunder. With your help, I have created this dreadful thunder and lightning, and I have uprooted what's this deeply rooted oak trees. So to the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and lifted Jove's a stout oak, and I have of course, you can say here, struck the formidable, you can say here, oak tree, which was, you can say, deeply rooted, and that is of course, you can say here, see, that is quite dear to, you can say here, Jove, you have, you can say here, supreme god Jupiter. So that oak trees were liked by, you can say here, Jupiter, and I have of course struck that, you can say, those trees, and you can say the tree has, you can say, split into 2 parts or 3 parts, and so on. So to the dread rattling thunder, so with your help I have imparted to the dreadful roaring thunder and roaring thunder, the power of lightning, and with your help I have, you can say, created this powerful, you can say, lightning, which struck the formidable tree, which you can say struck the formidable tree. It was so dear to, you can say, Jove, you can say Jupiter, the supreme god. Then say here, with his own bolt. Now say here, with his own bolt. Now say, with your help, fairies, I have made the, you can say here, of course, firm rooted rocks. I have made the firm rooted rocks shudder with fear. So with your help, these firmly rooted, you can say, rocks, big rocks, they have, you can see here, they have shaken themselves. Those rocks, they shook. So with his own bolt you can see, it refers to that first sentence, because it's thunderbolt, lightning, and of course here thunder and lightning was created with the help of fairies by, of course, you can see here Prospero, and of course Prospero, you can say, makes use of Ariel, and Ariel does all these things. Ariel has so many, you can say, spirits, and these fairies are, you can say, spirits. Okay, the strong base promontory have I made shake. This a strongly, you can say, rooted, you can say, a rock, big rocks, which cannot be, you can say, moved with human being, with the power of human being, that you can say, I have, of course, made them shake. They were shaken with the help of you fairies. And by the spurs plucked up the pine and, you can say, cedar. Okay, and then you can say, it says here, and I have uprooted the, you can say, pine trees. I have, you can say, here, uprooted the pine trees with your help, fairies, and cedar trees. And cedar trees and these pine trees were uprooted with the help of you fairies. Now say here, graves at my command have waked their sleepers. So here, graves. So in the graves, dead bodies, you can say, were, of course, you can say, buried. And I have made use, you can say here, I have made use of you fairies. And of course, I have, of course, just opened the, you can say, of course, graveyard, and the dead body which was sleeping, you can say, in the grave, they have, you can say here, come out of that. So it was, you can say, it was you fairies, because of, you can say here, because of your supernatural power, I have, of course, brought those dead body out. They got, you can say, life and so on. And by the spurs plucked up, okay, deeply rooted trees, where you can say uprooted. Graves at my command have awaked their, you can say, sleepers. Opened, okay, the grave, you can say, opened, and the dead body came out of it. And led them forth by my so potent art. And you can say, I just allowed them to come out of their graves. Those dead bodies came out of their graves. But this rough magic I here abjure. But this rough magic I here abjure. But this, you can say, this black magic. Now hereafter I give up. I will not make use of this black magic. It is very, you can say, destructive, and of course I don't need anymore. I will give up this black magic, this practice of black magic. And when I have required some heavenly music, and now I require some heavenly music. Heavenly music I require for these people, Antonio, Alonso, Sebastian, and Gonzalo. Mainly you can see these three characters, Alonso, Sebastian, and Antonio, because they are kept, you can say here, in a state of madness. So their mind, you can say, is not, of course, functioning. There is no insight, you can say, in their mind. They cannot, you can say, reason out. So I require heavenly music to restore their, of course, their senses, and they will become normal. So I here abjure, and when I have acquired some heavenly music, which even now I do, okay, which you can say, I make use of heavenly music. Heavenly music. Now say here, at this time I require some heavenly music to provoke a certain effect on the minds of these, you can say, characters, Antonio, Alonso, and, you can say, Sebastian, as well as, you can say, Gonzalo. So which even now I do. So minds, you can say, of these persons, King Alonso, and you can say his companions. Okay. Then say what he says here, which even now I do. He says, in respect, or you can say, in respect of certain effects, in respect of whom I am, you can say, employing this magic. So for them, to just, you can say, make their mind, you can say here, function, or they should become normal, I am, you can say here, practicing this, you can say here, heavenly music, or you can say music. Okay, which even now I do, to work mind ends upon their senses that this airy charm is for. Now it says, I require, you can say, this music so that their, you can say, mind will become, you can say, normal, and they will reason out where they are, who they are, say in front of whom they are, all these things they will reason out, they will make out. So which even now I do to work mind, you can say mind end, to bring all the, you can say, of course, problems, you can say here, towards an end, to get the solution for all the problems. Then say here, upon their senses that this airy charm is for, upon their senses, upon the senses, you can say, of King Alonso and his companions, to make their, you can say, minds normal, and they will of course feel that they can of course whatever they see, those things are real things. Okay, so now what he says here, I shall break my staff. He says, I will, you can say, break my magic. That means hereafter I will not make use of my magic. Okay, so I will break my magic wand. Wand, you can say here, equipments, those things, you can say, those things which are required for, you can say here, performing black magic and so on. So he says, I will just, you can say here, I will just bury deep, you can say here, in the ground. My, of course, equipments, magic wands, I will bury, you can say, in the ground. What he says, I shall break my staff, bury its certain fathoms in the earth. So all, you can say, my, of course, magical equipments, I will bury them, you can say here, in the earth. Bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I shall drown my book. Until the, you can say, water level, you can say, is measured in the ocean. Okay, below that, I will of course just drown my, you can say, books of magic, books of metaphysics, books, you can say, books of black magic and so on. Now say solemn music, you can say, is operated there. Now say what happens here, re-enter Ariel. Once again Ariel comes there on the stage. After him Alonso with a frantic gesture, and after Ariel, Alonso comes with a frantic gesture. Of course, here see, with of course wild gestures, frantic gestures with wild gestures, attended by Gonzalo. Gonzalo also comes, you can say, along with Alonso. Sebastian and Antonio, you can say, in like manner. Sebastian and Antonio, they also, you can say, come, okay, just along with Gonzalo in the same manner. Okay, having wild gestures, okay, on their faces. Now see here, attended by Adrian and Francisco. Attended by Adrian and Francisco. They are also, you can say, coming along with them. Adrian and Francisco, they are, you can say, lords to Alonso. They all enter the circle which Prospero had made, and they come, you can say, here in a circle. They come into a circle which was, you can say, drawn by Prospero, and there stand, you can say, charmed, and there they, you can say, stand, of course, spellbound. All of them are, you can say, spellbound. Their senses are, you can say, not working. They are, you can say, in a state of madness. They cannot, you can say, reason out. Okay, their insight is not, you can say, clear, not working, and so on. Which Prospero observing speaks. Now Prospero, looking at, you can say, of course, these, you can say, characters. Okay, Prospero, you can say, speaks. What he says, a solemn air and the best comforter to an unsettled fancy. Now see here, this place, you can say, is of course a comfortable place, suitable place for you people, because your mind, you can say, is not functioning. You can say you are, you can say, kept in a state of madness. Okay, cure thy brains. Here your mind will be, you can say, cured. I will, of course, you can say, cure your mind, you can say, here, from this kind of course, madness, or you can say, in a state of madness, your mind will be cured. Now useless. At present your mind is not working. You can say it is useless. Boiled within thy skull. Okay, your mind, you can say, is not. You can say burning within your mind. That means, okay, it is not becoming quite tensed up. Okay, it is not, you can say, working, and you can say tension and so on. All these things you have not able to understand. You can say all these things in your skull, in your head. There stand. All of you can say you will stand there, and of course I will restore your minds. Now see, we stop here for today only this much, then we shall, can say, continue tomorrow.